sitting in the SS. Let's see what kind of check engine light we have. I haven't had to do anything to this car except for like basically brake pads, and actually the only thing I really did was the only modification I made is the seat cushion. I thought was kind of hard, so I modified the seat cushion to be a little softer. Other than that, this car's awesome. But I haven't done a tune-up since I first bought this vehicle. I've had it since 2016. It only has 44,000 miles on it, but you know, sometimes parts go bad with age, so I have a feeling there's going to be something related to the tune-up. Oh yeah, there you go. Random misfire. P0300. So I'm not really sure if that's just specifically like a spark plug wire, or maybe a coil problem. I had a feeling this car might have needed a tune-up anyway, so I went out and bought the plugs and wires. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to clear the code. I'm going to change the plugs and wires, drive the car around, and see if maybe the check engine light just doesn't come back. If the check engine light doesn't come back, then it clears itself, it means the problem's been fixed. If it doesn't go away, I'm going to clear the code and then drive the vehicle, and then later on, if the light comes back on, then we know we have somewhere else we need to fix. It could be anything. I mean, this could end up being a valve problem, it could be a piston ring problem, it could be all sorts of things. Considering it's a misfire code, I'm hoping it's just more so on the electrical side, because that's sort of a wearable item. You know, spark plugs are wearable items. So when I pull them out, we'll take a look at the plugs. Hopefully there's nothing oddball. You know, hopefully I don't see like excessive oil or excessive heat, or maybe there's a major issue. But for right now, let's go under the hood and see if we could pull the plugs out, and we'll see what we find. Okay, instead of boring you guys with a video on how to pull spark plugs, I'm just simply going to use my superpower and remove the plugs with a simple snap of my fingers. So here we go. You ready? Oh, that's weird. It only worked on the wires. Where are the plugs? Huh. Huh. The plugs are out, but only the wires are here. Let's try that again. Hold on. Let's warm this thing up. All right, you ready? That was weird. I don't know where they went, but at least we found them. Okay, spark plugs and wires out. Let's get a closer look at these things. All right, so the plug wires all look pretty good except for this one. It looks cracked. So I'm hoping that was my misfire. I'm really hoping this isn't like a DOD problem. I never drive the car in automatic mode. It's always in manual mode, even though it's an automatic, so it never has a chance to go into the cylinder deactivation mode. And then the plugs actually look okay. I mean, they look pretty standard for what a 40,000 mile engine would look like. Nothing crazy. They smell like gasoline because I just had the engine running when I drove it over here for the video. So I think we could just get away with a tune-up on this one. But I really want to drive the car to see if we have any future issues. So we're going to get these back in, and then we'll go for a quick spin. Okay, I'm not going to bore you guys with installing plugs and wires, so I'm just going to snap us into the future, and next time you see this car, we'll be driving it to see if we have any misfiring issues. Here we go. Wait a minute. That didn't work. Hold on. This is a big jump. Let's warm this up. You ready? Wow, I can't believe that actually worked. All right, we're in the car driving. Obviously, we're finished with it. The check engine light's out. Car feels like it has power. It's not misfiring. This is pretty exciting. I guess we'll just take the car for a little bit of a spin, and we'll see if we have any problems. Then we'll talk a little bit when we get back to the garage. Car seems to be driving pretty good. I've had this car since 2016, and it pretty much really has only needed a few minor little things you know, like brake pads, just wearable stuff, oil changes. This is my first tune-up. Luckily it was something simple. The car seems to be driving really well. I'm hoping this check engine light doesn't come back on, but you know, the way that spark plug wire looked, I'm pretty confident it probably won't come back on again, at least for that reason. Maybe there could be something else going on. I don't know why the wire broke, but I mean, the wire is like, considering when the car was built, it was probably built in 2015, so the wires are probably about 6 or 7 years old if you consider when they were made and then when the car was manufactured. Oh, there is one other thing I had to do, and it was actually the magnetic shocks in the back, the magnetic ride, or the mag ride. I think that was really it as a major job. That was a little bit of a pain in the butt trying to get those connector pins out, but other than that, this car usually doesn't really need anything. It's one of my favorite cars. I mean, my most favorite car is my 2005 GTO. This car is number 2 in my roster of vehicles, or my stable. And then car number 3 as far as liking to own would be my Cobra, but liking to drive would be my Corvette. But this is definitely, if I had to go to a race, like let's say I were going to a racetrack to do autocross, I would take this over the Corvette just because it drives so good and handles really well. I think this car is doing pretty good. I think we're fine. I'll just show some more footage of me driving, then we'll go back to the garage and we'll talk about the car. All right, I just got back. I drove the car for about an hour. Seems to be running great. No check engine light, no misfiring. Yeah, I couldn't be happier. So this was a P0300 code that luckily was just a simple tune-up, nothing more, nothing less. If I have anything else going on with the car, I'll update this video before I post it to let you know if anything else happened, but I think we're gonna be okay. So yeah, this car's fantastic. I mean, I didn't really want to turn this into like a review video. It was really just about that P0300 code. I have other videos on the channel really talking about the SS and focusing on other things that I've done, driving the car places. I have a video series called It's a Car Everyone Should Drive, which I really think it is. If you're a car person, this is one of the most amazing cars that you can drive, especially 4-door. It's basically, to me, a 4-door sports car. It really is. I know that's a phrase that you've probably heard since you were a kid. Somebody always describes a fast car with 4 doors as a 4-door sports car, but this really is. Between the magnetic ride and the Brembos and the way the car handles and the way the car rides, the car is amazing. My favorite car, like I said earlier, is the GTO, but if I were going to go on a long trip or actually go to a racetrack, if I were to drive to a racetrack, race a car, and drive home, the only car I think I could do that in would be this car because it can literally do everything. On the way to the track, I can have it in comfort mode and I'm just driving an everyday car, nothing special, keep it in automatic, we're good to go. When I get to the racetrack, I can put it in track mode, turn on the manual shift mode, and I can go around the track like it's a performance car that was designed for a racetrack. These things are amazing. So if you guys like this kind of content, let me know. I love it when you comment. You know, anything that you like or don't like, just let me know. I need the feedback. The feedback helps me figure out what direction I want to take the channel in, and you guys can influence me the same way I can influence you. And I really want to make videos based on what you want to see, not just what I like to film. So thanks again, everybody. Thank you, everyone who's been checking out my website. I appreciate the feedback. It's basically a fan site with some parts on it because some people can't track down parts like I can. So I do have some parts on the site, but it really is just a place for people to go. If you need information, need help, you can contact me through it. If you want to be a member or a fan, it's free, and that way you guys can keep in touch and we can keep the community alive. And I really appreciate all the feedback everyone's given. So thanks again, everybody, and have a very nice day.